What's up, guys? We are back. We're here for another installment on the subframe upgrades for my F80 M3. What you saw in the last video was getting that bad boy out. Uh, it's out. I power washed it, cleaned it up, and it's ready to go. So what I wanted to do is get the front bracket off and then get the bushings in. So first thing we're complete is going to get this back on the car and get it all bolt torqued into place, ready to go. In the meantime of the past week, because schedules are busy and whatnot, I did a little side quest and updated my JQ Work steering wheel just a little bit. So I wanted to make something cool for my company and also put it on the wheel because I like the wheel quite a bit. So I made a custom horn button and I'll insert a little clip of it here. Hope you like that little steering wheel horn button there. So what we're going to do now is just right down into it. We're going to put the front diff bracket back together with all the bushings and then get it right back on the car. Okay, here we had the bushings installed from PowerFlex because as far as I can tell, they're just the best ones out there. And I mean, there is a few choices to be fair, and the stock ones are just, they're so compliant, the feeling is lost in the car. And in order to make this into a proper track car, you need to bring back in a little bit of harshness. So these bushings are a polyurethane, I believe, based product, and the old ones pop out super simple. I think it's because it is a newer car, so they're not crusted in there. Let's just pop this one. They pop in nice and easy, these bushes. No problem at all. Everything fits perfect. The one thing I did run into was on the inner two bolts, the ones that mount direct to the diff, these mount to the subframe itself. The inner two have an interference problem, so you need to break the edge with a deburr tool. So you get in there and you run it out real quick, and then they slide right in perfect. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to use their supplied silicone grease. We're just going to put a little bit on the shaft and rub it in. I know what I said. Volts, 120 newton meters. As we are going to a new sway bar setup for this car, we're going to get rid of the stock bar. We got the new ones from Bimmer World for their GT More project, which I'm pumped on, don't get me wrong. The problem is I couldn't find any good in links that would allow me to account for the ride height change in the car. Sure, there's some out there. They're kind of dinky boys. I want something that I can just bomb into corners and hit curbing and not have to worry about putting a weird load through the number 2 pencil that most of them are based on. We wanted motorsports grade. So what we did at Deft City was actually create a motorsport grade adjustable end link. So I'll show you that real quick here, what it looks like, the prototype at least, the plastic print on my car, which I was fabbing up with the stock, sway bar and the stock suspension. But I will show it to you and, let me know what you think. Now that we got the differential front mount bracket complete, we're going to go on to getting the sway bar off, which includes taking off these brackets and the end links, which I've already started taking off because I was trying to do something fancy. But first, let's talk about what we designed for the Deft City company, which are these custom motorsport grade end links. These are the 3D print, and it's all wonky as far as geometry goes, but these actually sit flat. We have quick adjustment on the body to accommodate slight ride height increase, as well as a little decrease as well. I don't think you want to drop the M3 down any lower than it already is. It's already tucking on 20s. To bring back proper rake, you're going to want to actually bring this. You're going to want to raise ride height, which means the sway bar is going to change direction slightly. So you want to actually make this a little bit longer than stock. So we got the adjustment in there. This is the first prototype made out of just an FDM printer plastic. Custom spacers, custom body with a 15mm hex wrench at 3 sides, and then there'll be a lock nut on each side. But this is one of the custom parts that we will be selling for the F80 M3 body. Okay, we got the Bimmer World GT More sway bar, rear sway bar on. It fit perfectly. And then we got the PowerFlex front diff bracket bushes put in place. We're going to come back, we're going to start on the rear one probably tomorrow. So we'll get to it. But tonight I got to go do a few things, so we'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Back day 2 working on rebuilding the subframe here with the new bushings and brackets. So today is getting the rear subframe bracket swapped out for the PowerFlex one, and also the secondary bushing on, so we can help prevent diff flex through the high impact shift events. That'll go for shock loader from the transmission back to the back. So it is a known failure. I think everybody makes one. I'm a fan of the PowerFlex. Again, not sponsored, but they do make a great product. Happy to run my own car, and it's a fair price. So let's just get down to it. Not a whole lot of jibber jab today. Just keep going. Mid-build update. As you saw in the time lapse there, we got the bushing out, which was a giant, actually super easy thing to do. What you need are the right tools in order to do it. If you buy just a cheapo Amazon bushing puller set, oh god, I don't even know. Let's see, this one is no-namer. It's a no-namer. Anyways, I bought it off Amazon for like 80 bucks, I think. Highly recommend investing in one of those, just in general. It did pretty good. I did crack one of the slip washer deals, and, you know, it is what it is. But the bushings are out. Pop, pop. And the bracket came out. Huh? This is going to be a big old hunk of junk here, because I'm excited for the new PowerFlex stuff. It is absolutely mega. But I'm actually pretty pumped right now. All in all, going pretty smooth. Just like I said, if you get the right tools and you invest in it, it's worth the time. The one thing I did have to do with the diff is I did have to loosen the outside bolts, the ones that hold the diff front mount bracket to the subframe. I loosened those up and pulled the diff forward about an inch, half inch. What that allowed me to do is just slip this bracket right out the backside without having to tweak it. And since the PowerFlex bushing in the front are so much stiffer, it doesn't allow the diff to kind of fall down a little, so you could get that clearance maybe with stock bushings. I don't know. Either way, I'm pumped. We got all the bushings out. We're going to throw this junk in the freaking trash can, which I am pumped for, and I'll go get the good stuff. Let me get in. I'll be right back. Let's talk about this kit a little bit. So, biggest difference really is you get a CNC really nice bracket versus the cast aluminum BMW one. But that doesn't really matter. The big deal is, of course, instead of one bush mounting location onto the subframe, there are 2 bush mounting locations. What they did was just drilled in the second hole and tapped, and this is still the slide through just like it was before, direct into the diff. But now this has 4 points of restraint versus the 3 points like the stock one. Plus, all new bushings, which aren't aluminum cased with soft inside, whoops, like the BMW one is. But these are just a solid poly with a, looks like a metal, at least frame on it or something like that. I don't know. But these are, you know, a little stiffer. The track ones, the black series, as PowerFlex calls it. Highly recommend if you're going track. If you're going on the street, probably buy the purple ones, the more road use ones, because they're going to be a little more comfortable. These are meant to push everything through the suspension, because that's the whole goal of doing new bushings. Push everything through the suspension so that the car can sort that out, and not just other pieces of the body trying to sort out bad suspension or bad dynamics, car dynamics, through other pieces of the suspension. You don't want to do that. You want to do it. The suspension needs to do a job, not the car. The chassis is there for stiffness, and I don't want to take away from the chassis stiffness by putting in crappy or stock bushings. So let's just put it back together. I'm going to go ahead and time-lapse it again because it's not super exciting, but a little bit of lube. Read the instruction set. They are perfect. I highly recommend following them because it is very easy. Even I can put it together. So, yeah, let's just get down to it. All right, we got it. We are done for the day. I'm going to call this video here, so thank you for watching this one. I really appreciate it. We'll just recap real quick. So what we finished up were the rear bushings for the differential here. So now instead of a single mount, it's a twin mount plus the new bracket from PowerFlex, which is sick. And then, of course, we did the front side brackets, or excuse me, bushings as well for the diff. So we did these 4 here. Knocked it all out. We got a new bolt for the drive shaft so we can hold everything back together because you're supposed to change it because it's aluminum. And yeah, so I'll take a couple shots, but I do appreciate you guys watching. Thank you very much. Please leave a comment, like, subscribe, whatever you want to do. I do appreciate it, and thank you to all who are watching, and have a good night.